The torture endured by the companions because of their adherence to Tawhid. The companions of Allah's Messenger Sallallaahu Alayhi Wa Sallam suffered the worst forms of torture because of their adherence to the correct aqeedah and their making all worship purely and sincerely for Allah alone, and their rejection of shirk and kufr. From Abdullaah ibn Mas'ood radiyallaahu anhu, who said, "The first people to openly proclaim their Islam were 7. Allah's Messenger Sallallaahu Alayhi Wa Sallam, Aboo Bakr, Ammaar and his mother Sumayyah, Suhayb, Bilaal and al-Miqdaad. So as for Allah's Messenger Sallallaahu Alayhi Wa Sallam, Allah gave him protection through his uncle Aboo Taalib. As for Aboo Bakr, then Allah gave him protection through his people. But for the rest of them, the mushriks would take hold of them and dress them in iron armour and place them to scorch and roast in the sun. There was not one of them except that they responded to them, except Bilaal, for his soul became as nothing to him for Allah's sake, and his people had no respect for him. So they gave him to the children, who used to drag him around the streets of Makkah, and he would say repeatedly, 'He who has the right to worship is one, one.'" In the Seerah of Ibn Hisham, there occurs, Umayyah ibn Khalf used to take Bilaal out in the midday heat of the sun and throw him down upon his back on the ground of the flat valley bed of Makkah, and he would order for a large rock to be placed on his chest. Then he would say, "By Allah, you will stay like this until you die, unless you disbelieve in Muhammad Sallallaahu Alayhi Wa Sallam, and you worship Al-Lat and Al-Uzza." So he would say whilst he was in that condition, "He who alone has the right to be worshipped is one, one." Sumayyah was tortured until death because of the aqeedah of Tawhid, not because she was a political leader. From Mujahid, who said, "The first martyr in Islam was Sumayyah, the mother of Ammaar. Abu Jahl thrust a spear into her abdomen." Ibn Sa'ad said, "She accepted Islam early on in Makkah, and she was one of those who was tortured to force them to abandon their religion. But she bore and endured it until Abu Jahl came to her and thrust a spear into her abdomen, and she died."